Filmmakers. Welcome back to Cut. It's a wrap. We are your hosts, and we're going to take a deep dive into the human experience of Black culture, Black media, and Black thought. So spend a little time with us as we drop these jewels and you pick up these jewels, because Cut is a wrap starts now.
Hey, welcome to Cut. It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
Yes, brought to you by Sisters in Productions, formerly known as Young Black Filmmakers. If you're not aware, please know that we changed. We had a name changed. God changed our name. We've been Young Black Filmmakers for years because we just believed in build a community with Black artists, and we've developed such a great community in that space. But we were led to focus more on sisters, meaning sisters, women of color, Black women who are interested in filmmaking, all things art, but they just, kind of need that community, kind of need that push to get there. And we just believe in a lineage of sisterhood and coming together to produce our dreams and produce the dreams that are in our hearts. So that's who we are, and that's what we stand for today. So find us on all platforms on Sister in Productions, just in case you were wondering where Young Black Filmmakers was. We are now Sisters in Productions. So welcome.
Welcome. And these are your hosts. I am Antonia from Culture Changer on IG, and my co-host is who's just talking. And we are here with our guest today. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Issa, and I'm just excited to be here.
Yes, Issa.
We're excited to have you.
We met Issa in a nice networking event, and her vibe and her energy is just amazing. You know, when you just know you vibe with someone, you just like, oh my goodness, I need to have these people in my life right now. I need to talk to this person, and that's what we're doing. We're having a discussion. So just think of ladies in discussion. And today is all about stepping out on faith and quitting your job. When do you need to quit? When do you decide this is the time to let it go? Okay? Because of the pandemic, or because since the past 2 years or 3 years, they've called this the Great Resignation. And I'm going to read you a little bit about what Pew Research says. So during the pandemic, it set off like an unprecedented turn of events with the labor market. It was a widespread of job loss. So in the early months of the pandemic, it said in 2021, it had a quit rate reached the highest in the past 20 years since November. So, and that's what they called it, the Great Resignation. So a new Pew Research survey finds that low pay, a lack of opportunities for advancement, a feeling of disrespect in the workplace, were the top reasons why Americans quit their jobs last year.
I agree. With all that, I believe that is all true, right? So when we met Issa, we were just in conversation about what we were doing or whatever. And I was like, yeah, my sister's thinking about quitting her job. She's like, she should do it. Like her eyes just lit up. Tell her, where is she? Let me talk to her. I think it was right here. And then that's when you start talking to her, and then it was just like.
And then since then, I've been setting up strategy to just do it. So before we don't want to put all the details with Issa. Issa, can you please tell us about your journey, about just letting go and quitting your job? And then does this resonate with you about the Great Resignation?
Yeah, letting go and letting God. I feel like I've always been in limbo of like wanting to work for a really nice business or being my own business person. And every time I was in a place, I just was like never truly fulfilled, I would be happy like here and there, but I would come home and I'd be like, this isn't 100% what I want. And so eventually I got comfortable with the fear of doing what I wanted to do than being comfortable in a place that I knew wasn't for me. And so I would like put myself in a situation where it was up to me to support myself and to like create my dream job role. And if it didn't work, then I would just sit there for a little bit because I fell, and like reorganize, recalculate, and then I'd get up again. Or I would re-strategize, re-plan how to do it. Maybe reapply at a job because sometimes you need the job until you can be your own job. And it feels more fulfilling this way, I think I'm still on the path of it, but it's just like I know I'm creating my dream life instead of waiting for my employer to do it for me.
I like that.
Yeah. It's like you're in control of your, I don't know. I want to say your labor or your work. I don't know. Because time is precious. Time is so valuable. And then you think you're spending all this time in a position that, you feel like you don't own that time when you're working at a certain place. Like, I'm not on my time. Like, I can't. I'm going to take a pause and do this. No, you're working. Anyway, yes.
And I feel like when you do that, you take your power back and you realize how capable and powerful you are, And I don't know, you learn a lot too. If like you run into a hardship, you learn how to do it so you don't have to go back to the place that wasn't where you wanted to be.
So what's your business? Like, what are you into right now? Like,
so my business is synchronic. The main goal is connecting the unseen with the felt. So the unseen, like your emotions, your physical health, like mindful mapping, and connecting it with your 5 senses. So I have herbal remedies, self-care essentials, and I also have a fashion line. And something new I'm tapping into is Synchronic Mag. So it's a magazine company. And it really is in alignment with like the same thing you were saying, like sisterhood and providing a space for creatives to celebrate and work and like feed each other, because we all want to eat, but we all also want to support one another. And it's like, you want a job, I want a job. How can we both pay each other? Like, yeah.
I love that. And what I'm hearing is back in the day before money was a thing, we had the barter system.
Yes.
So it was just off okay, I'm gonna do, and even back in the day, it was just how you grew up. Because I know how we grew up. We lived in a community where like mothers helped each other. Like, I want to bake a cake. Let me go to you and ask for some eggs, but I'm gonna share my cake or whatever. Or go to so-and-so house, ask if she got some eggs. You know what I mean? Like that type of thing. So when I think about sister, I think about like that type of barter system, like not really thinking about like money, but just off we're supporting each other, and in the end, we're all gonna eat this cake, basically.
And I feel like we are leading towards being more skill-based, and when you take out money, there's someone that knows how to cook. There's someone that knows how to do hair. There's someone that like knows how to like make furniture and patio work. And it's like, we don't even need the money. We just want like our basic necessities met. We want community, and we want to feel free. And freedom is, what is freedom when you take away job security? What do you guys, like, when you think of freedom, what do you think about?
Time
to like do what you want.
Leisure. That's my goal. Is I want to be a woman of leisure. I want to
do what I want.
Just do what I want when I want to. Just like not even worry about.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we're not in a panic. We're not have anxiety about, I have to perform at a certain way in order to. And that's another thing, competitiveness, like, or to be validated or somebody to look and see your worth. You know what I mean? No, I just want to be.
Yeah. I think the Great Resignation brought that mood back. People just want to be. Like, and it's like, this job isn't giving me what I want, so I'm just going to go home and clock out forever and be.
Yes, and work on something that you're kind of passionate about, or what kind of drives you. I think everybody has been gifted with some type of, like you said, like skill set or something that you really want to do. Let's get back to that. Like, what is it? Something that you really want to do? Like, what is your desire? Yes.
Well,
Yes, you better also work your divinity.
I'm
We're
actually
over here
excited to
having
hear.
a moment where we just like, huh.
I love it. Well, you're on the way because you said you like were setting up a plan, right? Do you want to share about it? Because I'm excited to hear. Because you teach, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Teaching is. This is the not worse. This was the most difficult year teaching ever. When the kids are all coming back and they lost all ritual and routine. They lost how to system. They forgot.
What grade do you teach?
7th grade.
7th grade.
So my desire, what I want to do, is write professionally in scripts. I'm a screenwriter, and I also want to teach other women or people who are coming out the workforce like me to get into that, get into writing, or if they had a desire to write and they haven't written before, they can, I can coach you through that or help you through that as well. I also would like to, me and my sister, we're doing, opening up a whole art school, and not just any art school,
Yeah. So you're still teaching just in your own way. That's what you want to do.
Yeah, I don't want to teach. I want to run it. I have other teachers.
No more. Cut it out.
Maybe take a class here and there, but I want to do the admin work.
Okay.
And it's other things, but you gotta. It's levels to it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, that's the goal. That's the dream.
Beautiful. I feel like as long as you got a plan, like it's worth a shot. I don't know. You're gonna land somewhere. That's how I feel about it. Like I'm a fall. I might, go a little hungry, but I know it's for the greater good. So I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
It's for the greater good.
Well, that's freedom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's freedom. Yeah. Like, wait, but it's a different age bracket. Okay, so I had a coworker who was in teaching she just retired like last year, 30 years teaching. That's what she did. And I had another coworker, and she's in her late 50s or mid 50s. And I had another coworker who she had an opportunity to retire this year, but she chose not to. Like, I'm gonna do another year, and she's in her like mid 40s. And then I had two other coworkers who's only been teaching about 2 years, and was like, "This is it, I'm done." And one of them, and they're like 20s, mid 20s, and one of them, she ended up being a manager at an apartment complex, and she had so much freedom. She on Facebook, always traveling, living her best life.
Yes, good for her.
Yes, and another one, her mid 20s, she's about to get married and she's about to quit. She said, I ain't got to take this. My man got 2 jobs. She ended up, so she's gone. So my thing is it a generational thing with like letting go of jobs compared to like our parents and their parent generation was
they would stick with a job for 30 years until retirement. Like, no, it's no leaving that job. That's
what's the different mentalities, do you think, between like what were they thinking and why did they like stay there, compared to like kind of my generation who might be flighty, you could say we're flighty, but also like flighty. Passionate.
Very compassionate.
Yeah. So why do you think that was? I don't know. I
don't know. I see a lot of older people staying with the job, even if it's not something. Well, maybe I don't know.
Maybe I think they're just comfortable.
Like, it is comfortability.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're more into our passions, probably.
We are more into our passions. They're more into stability. Like,
Mhm.
okay, passions don't pay bills. Okay,
Yeah,
we
like
need to
success.
eat.
Yeah.
So,
Singing does not put food on the table.
Yeah. And you know, another point too, like the parents of my parents and the parents of your parents, they just got out of the Great Depression. So they weren't
Mhm.
like, they probably didn't have as much free time or like to tap into their creativity. It was just like still survival mode.
Mhm.
And as time has
Mhm.
gone on, we're like collectively moving from survivor to freedom, right?
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I
Yeah.
just
No,
that
no.
makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
Because it's
It
been like
does.
about
And
50, 60, 70 years.
yeah, and because you got to think about like our granddad, all he talks about is money. He barely spent. He's 80. He just turned 81.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But all that man talks about is money. Like that's his sole mindset. Like he can, and that's saving and working every day. He
Yeah.
believes in stability.
And
Like I remember
stocks. And,
telling my grandmother that I wanted to drop out of college and do fashion. And
Mm-hmm.
she scolded the crap out of me, like, "What? You
mm,
can't get no job in fashion, blah, blah, blah." What is that?
Mm-hmm.
But that's me thinking that's the time. I mean,
yeah.
that's, you can't see beyond like creative now. Where I feel like we're in a time of like creativity or something like that, like where you can just expand and just be um
Be
like
free.
creative.
Like
And
that's what we
that's
all want. Just be free.
that's
Yeah.
the life. So I don't, and that could be me, but what y'all gotta think about that. Like, is it that, but like you said, I think also you mentioned something about having a skill set. So,
Yeah.
and creativity is, a skill set that I think could take us.
Yeah. I definitely think we're leading more to skills than degrees. I don't necessarily think going to college is a bad idea. I think it's great, but I think people are just as able to get to the same position, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have a question for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
How was your relationship with going to school for continuing education? Like, what was your mindset towards it before entering that era?
Or
Yeah, your mindset going into it. Did you go to school because you wanted to or because you were told to? You didn't want to?
No, the first 4 years,
Absolutely
no,
not.
undergrad, no, I don't even know why I'm here. I dropped all my classes every semester. I changed my
oh yeah,
major
maybe
like 5 times.
she changed her major from a guy. Like she would, if
Oh
the
yeah,
guy
yeah.
that she
First
liked,
it was
Like a
I was
hairstyle.
it was political science, it was education, then it was art, then it was back to political science. But it was based off the people I was dating.
Oh.
So I really didn't have any guidance or, I didn't have a plan. I
Yeah.
was just going with the wind. So,
and it was something that everybody was doing. It
hmm
wasn't, and I think that's what we need to go like teaching kids now. Like, what do you want to do? If money wasn't an option, what would you enjoy doing?
Yeah.
Because really, I didn't plan about honestly and think about college until I got to like high school, junior high, and I got to high school in my junior year or even my senior year. I was like, okay, well, all my friends go, everybody's going. I guess I'm going too. Um, but it wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't something that I was looking in the future of. This is, some people have plans. This is what I'm
Yeah.
doing, and this. Yeah, a lot of people stuck with the plan. Like I had a friend who just wanted to be a lawyer her life. It didn't matter how long it took. She ended up
I
being a
wanted to be a
lawyer.
lawyer.
Have those that things, and I feel like as if you have like as a creative, or sometimes, and I heard somebody say this. Like somebody said, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And you didn't really articulate that, but somehow your whatever you want to be, probably the job is not invented yet.
It's
Like
not even invented.
the
Right.
people want to be YouTubers And YouTube wasn't out when we were young, and so
Right.
people are making money off of it. And that's what you in the feeling. It's like, I know what I want to be, but it's not. I can't articulate it because it's not even job's not even created yet.
Right.
So it's so much. It's so much. I wasn't. But what was your follow up about the for as far as continuing education goes?
No, that was it. I was just curious. Yeah, and then I guess the follow up would be, what do you think stops people from their dream role? Because like, you were talking about like YouTube stars and it didn't exist. I don't know. What does stop people from their dream roles?
That is,
They find alternatives because we don't have I feel like we don't have like a quitting bone in us. Like, you still want to succeed. Maybe it's what you see yet, but you was like, okay, I'm gonna put this on hold, but I'm just gonna maybe because we've been engraved to say you gotta make some money, it's vibe, you gotta get up there, get your weight up and all that. So some people do trying to find alternative goals to be successful.
I think eventually you have to think about what's important for you in your life and like what you want from yourself, instead of like pleasing what everybody else wants you to do and trying to like appear a certain way. Like going back to school, I tried school. I tried it several times. I swear I gave it my all. It just wasn't for me. And I think I spent a long time beating myself up for it. And then I like made myself small because I was like, I can't even be the person my dad wanted me to be, because he really was like all for school. I can't even be the person I like wanted my professors to think I was, And then I had to be like, wait, what do I want to be? I want to be a fashion designer. I want to like work with herbs in my hand. I want to be a creative director. So how do I do that? I create that role myself. You write the scripts that no one has written yet because it's your scripts to write. You like create your fashion line because it's yours to create. And I think either way you're going to be scared, but you just have to like do it. I don't know.
That's cool. I love that. You're so awesome. What did you go to school for? All the times that you went?
Yeah, that's funny.
What was your majors?
Yeah, I wanted to study African American literature and business. And I really wanted to be a midwife, but from the beginning I just knew. Oh, that school though, like respect, but then I wanted to be a doula.
But they didn't even have, see, that's the thing that goes back to skill. Midwives, you didn't have to do all that.
I know,
You didn't.
Years ago. Even now in different places in Mississippi, they don't have hospitals as far. People get birthed at home. And those
I hope we get back to that. I hope we do.
Yes.
I feel like we will.
You don't need hospitals to have a baby. They haven't been doing that.
Hospitals just became a thing, actually.
It's money making. That would have been cool. Amanda, she wanted to be a doula.
For the longest, it's like knocking on me to just take those daggone classes.
Is it? Oh my gosh. Have you started studying or anything? Or
I've been looking up like places to go for studying, but I haven't been studying. But I follow a whole bunch. My whole timeline is filled with midwives and doulas and natural births and stuff like that.
It's beautiful. I love it.
But,
so midwife, maybe that could be in the future, because I feel like we have. Listen, maybe your purpose right now is fashion, and
but I feel like you are a midwife, because you did was just like midwifey.
Yeah, you.
In our whole little interview, how we were unpacking this shit.
Helping you birth the idea.
Helping us birth and presenting questions and all that stuff. So what you did was kind of,
it's already in
midwifey.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
You really are one. Add that to your resume.
Add it to
your website.
Midwife for dreams.
Yes,
absolutely. That's good right there. That is so
seriously. When they said, well, once you remember, some statistics. So Pew also said, so I feel like right now the world is at a crisis with job losses. because majority of workers who quit right now is like they said 63% says low pay, and 57% said no job advancements, and also 53% says disrespected at the workplace. So I'm thinking like this didn't just happen. Disrespect didn't just happen. Low pay didn't just happen. Or you weren't going to be advanced last year. I'm think like what is the design? I mean, what is maybe like the push to get people to shift in the Great Resignation? Like, what is a everybody has a click that comes in their mind that says, hey, this is what I'm doing. Like, why is it just like how it was like a Great Recession or a Great Depression? Like, things didn't just happen overnight. Like, what was this build?
Yeah. I feel like it was super gradual. I think social media has a huge part in it. When you see someone that like looks like you and resonates with your story, like following their dream life, doing something that you want to do, you're like, okay, I can see this character. Why can't I do it? I don't know. And eventually, yeah, 10 seconds of courage, right?
10 seconds.
No, I never even look at it that way. It is gradual, and I think social media do play a part because when people
representation, like
yeah, and you see somebody's growth. Let's say they started off with a business, and then it matriculates, and then it advances. Now you see them their name and highlights, and it's like, wow, I remember when this person was XYZ. I kind of grew up with this person on social media. Now look at them. So that's inspiration as well. But I know for like teaching, it definitely didn't happen overnight. It's like big. I think it is not really inspiration. It's just like enough is enough. Nothing is changing. It's time to leave. They say if you can't change a situation or nothing's being done, most of the time people remove themselves from the situation, and that's exactly what is happening. I know in education.
Do a lot of teachers feel like similar to those statistics right now?
Absolutely. If you go to any type of school, it's a lot of people, some turnovers. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the school. It's just the system, period, how it's all set up. And, it's nothing you can do. It's just like a system in place. It's, people, yeah, so it's hard not life over there.
It's a system.
It hasn't changed in years. This system's been going on for hundreds of years. The education system nothing has changed. So they really need to, and that's what I say. That's why we're passionate about school. Like we want to build our own our own art school, but it's catered to now. You see how in education, it's not really catered to what's going on in the world. It hasn't changed. Like we should have like a technology or a YouTube class or something like that, or how to make money on social media, something like that. Because you love the TikToks.
Or having integrity or something in social media or something like that.
Having integrity, like things like that. Like curriculum needs to change with the world. That's just my opinion.
I think that's good that you guys like are starting the school, because it's like you can only be a part of the system for so long, and if the system isn't listening, then you better create your own. I don't know, right? I think that's the difference, because like our parents of parents, they just stayed in the system, and maybe we're like taught to be quiet, and just like accept the conditions. But yeah, if the system's not working, you just got to restart. And I think we all are doing that, like together in one way or another, in different communities. Like New Black Wall Street, I feel like is a revamp of a system, and that's promising. We're voting with our dollars every day there, and I think that's amazing.
And I feel like a lot of us are being a little intentional how we spend our money now. That takes time to gradually get out of. That takes it takes a lot of prep too, to actually think about? Because I started with hair places, like going to only on the black owned beauty shops.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Start
number
small.
one. I feel like
Start one thing at a
Start
time.
small.
it's big because like we get hair is important.
You're right.
Hair
My
is
bad.
very important.
So it do take time. I have another question. So what? Because I feel like you are a dose of knowledge. Like you
Oh, man.
right now are giving me um the Zen person or the one who the all knowing
Mother.
The midwife of dreams.
yeah
The
the
midwife of
giving
dreams.
up in North Dreams. So what would you tell someone who's like on the fence about quitting or they want to but they just need a little push
Yeah.
like a midwife? What would you say?
I think if you're already thinking about it, you should probably do it. And you're waiting for an outside source to confirm something that's between you and God, you know? And I think just like a midwife, you have all the tools around you, but you're not going to know until you're in a situation where you have to use those tools. And your whole perspective is going to change, but it should change because like your perspective creates your world. And you have to think you can do it and then do it and watch like the physical, manifest into what you need. Like I always wanted to start my products and I was like, how the heck do I create like a self-care box? Well, you like draft what you want and then you like look up the products and then you like create it, But you have to like trust yourself and you have to have faith. Because if you don't trust yourself and have faith, how is like someone else going to see that with your dream? I don't know. Get quiet and talk to God.
That's good. That's good. And you're providing a lot of confirmation.
Take a deep breath in, let it out.
That was good.
That was wonderful. Oh,
I feel good about that.
I just want to sit on that for a second. I think that's it. I think we can end right there.
Yeah, thank you guys. I feel like I've been very excited and I think this is a beautiful thing. And I'm happy to be talking with you guys. And I can't wait to see the art school.
I know it. And we want to, because we want to buy your herbs and we also want to support your fashion. Where can we find you? Where can our audience can find you on social media or any websites?
Yeah, my website is synchronic.works, or you can check me out on Instagram at synchronicbutterfly. The peace sign. Thank you guys so much.
That was so good. Thank you, Issa. Peace and blessings.
That was good. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
Yeah.